Dear Black people, you don't gotta move to Africa. You can stay here. So, why do I say that? I am Black American and I recently moved back to the US from Africa and I had like an epiphany. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not African American. I'm Black American. Why do I say that? So, when I went to Africa, I would always introduce myself as an African American and proud. And it was like no one ever said that back to me. It was always like, oh yeah, because you're a Black American, oh, Black American. And it became such a crazy pattern that I was like, this is weirding me out. How come they won't say the words African American and they keep switching it up? I never said I was Black American, I just kept saying African American. So I looked into it. I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was a whole thing around our Black Americans, African Americans, or whatever the case may be. So it's a whole thing where there's some African people who don't feel like we are African American. They feel like we are Black American. I get it. It's like from their standpoint, they're like on this continent and there's Black people all around the world. So us over here, we're Black American. These people, they're Black European. These people, they're Black Australian, whatever. But it felt a little shady that it's like, well, if I'm calling myself an African American, the least you could do is like agree and be like, okay, that's what you are, that's what you say you are. But I was like, why do I care? Who cares? Why? No, like, why do I even have this idea of wanting them to say it with me, like African American? And I was like, wait a minute, fuck your African American. You're right, I am Black American and proud. Why? Because I'm not African. So why is that even in my title? Oh, I know why. Because that's what the government said. But like 200 years ago, we were something else. Haven't we been lots of labels? Blacks, coloreds, Negroes, now we African American. Okay. So what, this is just another agenda I feel like they have in place. And I feel like it's making us not accept who we truly are. Because I've heard all this stuff about people going to Africa because they need to go back to their home, their motherland. Like me, I went over there because of the C-19 issue. And I did not like what was going on over here. But when going over there, I met a lot of Black people, Black Americans, most of them coming over because of how we're being treated here and how we need to like go back home and so we can have, you know, peace and all that good stuff. And I'm like, okay, at the time I was like, okay. But then after, you know, living over there for a while and coming back over here, I was like, you know, this is kind of messed up because we're going over there and people are going over there who's never even been to Africa before, but you're saying that because we're African American and this is in our DNA, we need to go home. Okay, well, who do you call when you get home? Do you have family members over there? Do you have somebody, like, do you have a list of friends, a group chat that you join and you're like, what's up, y'all? You know, I'm coming over. Do you? Because I don't. You know, like, you guys want to connect us so bad to this, you know, heritage and this continent. And that our ancestors may have been over there, but at this point, that was like eons ago. So it's like, what? Why would we even let any mere mortal from this country tell us that we need to go back anywhere? Go back where? Last time I checked, I was born here. I'm American. Sorry, just like you. So I'm American. Parents American, grandparents American, great grandparents American, great great grandparents American. I can't even trace my real life history back to any family member or ancestor that was in Africa. So how come when I think about my identity as a Black American, I always have to connect it to the motherland, to Africa? Like, why is that the case? Like, why are we harping on that so much? Make it make sense. I feel like this is all a little trick, all an agenda, because in real life we have our own history here. Do we not? We have lineage, we have history, we have culture. I feel like this is just something to help try to keep us connected to the story of this whole slave trade, just so that we can always view ourselves as the slaves. I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. Like, if I don't believe most of this fabricated history that the history books tell me already, why would I choose to believe it when it comes to slavery? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. The dates are not adding up. The math is not mathing. Sorry. But what I can see is real life proof that my family has had Native American within our blood. Physical proof. Talking to real life family members who were alive when other people were alive in our families. And I have the same proof for a lot of other Black American people. So this is not the video for that, to say, you know, to fight against the narrative of us being brought over from Africa, but I'll just let you know that I don't agree with that. I believe that there were a lot of us here already. Period. Because when you live a life and you're on this land, but you have this like feeling in your subconscious, like, oh well, my people aren't really from here, and you know, one day I'm gonna make it to the motherland. How can that help you feel at your highest when you don't even feel comfortable on your foundation? It's like a shaky foundation. Like, no, there's so many groups of people out here who get to feel so strong and so passionate about their culture, their tribe, their history. How come we can't do that? How come we always have to hear, oh yeah, because yeah, you don't know where you're from, oh, you know, you don't know your lineage, oh, you guys are confused and you have no culture. Excuse me? I'm over that. Both you and I know how much culture we have. Both you and I know where we're truly from, because this is where we were born. And y'all not gonna sit up here and keep telling us we don't have a culture. How is that possible when every single other person in the world bites our culture? So many people want to be us. Why is that? How can so many people want to be us, but we can't even stay on our own land and be cool and be proud? That sounds crazy. Nobody can change these things but us. We can't change the whole world, but we can change ourselves individually. It's up to us to feel empowered about who we are, where we come from, and what we're about. We don't have to escape. We don't have to run away. Nobody should be able to make us feel like we belong or don't belong. Only you can feel that, and you belong where you were born. We belong. If we are Black Americans, we belong in America. If we want to move one day, then great. But it shouldn't be from a feeling or a standpoint of feeling less than in any shape or form. No. And I feel like that African title confuses us and makes us seem like we don't know if we're supposed to be over here, over there, you know, oh, the motherland, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying we shouldn't go to the motherland. I don't have anything against the motherland. It's vast, it's beautiful, the people are amazing, the people are good, but is that us? And I'm not trying to make a divide. Everybody knows me in real life. I stand for unity. But at this point, I'm wondering, how can we all be a union? How can we all be in unity if some of those groups of people don't know their power? They don't have their own self-love. Like, how can you love somebody else if you don't already know how to love yourself? We have to love ourselves. We have to feel empowered. And then I think that we can all come together one day in unity and be cool and be brothers and sisters. But first, we have to feel like we're good. And I have seen and met too many Black people who are trying to escape America because they feel like that's not their home, when it is your home. Because then you get to Africa and you just be like, what? You're trying so hard to make that connection. You're trying so hard and you're like, oh, well, I have brown skin. These are my people, they're brown skin. Okay, nobody's deleting us over here. This is my home. But it doesn't really feel that way, because you need to relearn everything. You need to relearn your language. You need to relearn customs. You need to relearn everything. And relearning all that and going there and it clicking and feeling like home is two different stories. I'm not saying that you should not do that. I'm just saying that I think people are going over there expecting that something's gonna click right when they get there, and it's gonna be like, oh, like, I am finally home. Oh, this is my land. Oh, yes, this is what I've been seeking and waiting for my whole life. Sorry, but it don't really feel that way. It don't. It's like going to a whole brand new place, and you think that because your skin is the same skin tone as most of the people in that country, you think that that's what it takes to make you feel like you are one. But guess what? That's not reality. Everybody there can tell by the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you smile, the way that you move your body when you walk, the clothes that you wear, the way that you wear them, that you are not one of them. And so you get treated as such because it's true. It's nothing wrong with it, but sorry, you come from a whole nother land, a whole nother world, and now you need to get accustomed to this world. But that other world told us that this was our home this whole time, but it don't feel like home. Make it make sense. What? So instead of doing that, I feel like we should just be proud of our actual homes and try to grow and flourish in our homes that we already live in. And if we are ready to explore the world from an empowered state of mind, then yes, let's go to Africa. Let's see our brothers and sisters while knowing that our ancestors were here very, very, very long ago. And I'm going to, take in this culture and take in this beauty and the language and everything and appreciate it from that standpoint, but not feeling like I need to go over there and try to fit in and make myself feel like I belong because people keep telling me that I need to go back to my motherland and go back to where I'm from. We're from here. We gonna always be from here, and it's okay to stay here because this is your home. That's all.